I suppose, Wayne, does the round mean a little bit more to you than any other rounds?
Yeah, it's obviously a big round, you know. We get to, you know, represent our people, our community, our families, and obviously the club as well. And I know our club really embraces it, and all the players and the staff as well. They put a lot of effort into organising the round and making it a special one for all of us.
And the Guernsey this year, very impressed with how it looks?
Yeah, Bungie and his brother Jonathan's done great. It's nice and bright, and they just keep getting better.
The best Guernseys. I know I'll never ever get rid of one. They're all in my cupboard back home, all stacked next to each other, and it is for a non-Indigenous player as well. It's a special round to be a part of, and I love the way the AFL does it. It starts with Dream Time at the G, and we all get to celebrate the world's longest living culture, and it's one of the most special rounds for us, and I love that we get to celebrate it.
Wayne, it looked like you and some of the Indigenous guys from both clubs, Port as well, got together and had a meal. I saw on the process.
Yeah, I wasn't there, but yeah, they went there. They went there. It was, they just met up and had a bit of a chat, just creating a bit of a connection there.
Is that something specifically for this round and something you might look to do every year, or is that just kind of a?
I think it was just one off. Just they just sort of caught up. I think it just fell on Indigenous round. Wasn't sure. Yeah.
What does that do, just in terms of, you know, for other outside of the football community, Indigenous people to see that you guys you're meant to hate each other? But
Obviously it just shows that, you know, when you're playing the show, it's obviously a big rivalry, but outside all people, humans, and just I guess showing that role model for like that we're all together. We're strong role models.
And Rory, you touched on it before. What does it mean, obviously, for non-Indigenous players? You said it's really special for you. Why is that?
Well, it's just, as I said before, we get to celebrate the oldest living culture in the world, and that's something that I think should be celebrated. Every year, like I know a lot of us, we've got great guys like Wayne, Camilla Shulman, Eddie Betts, guys that can educate a lot of us about their culture, and it's something that I certainly try and learn every year, is ask a few questions, and because we haven't quite had the studies around it, especially growing up, and it's something I've certainly learnt whilst I've been in the AFL system, and I'm still learning as well, and I think that's one of the greatest things, is we have these rounds to celebrate Indigenous culture and especially learn from all the boys too.
I think you noticed that as well. I've noticed Sloane heaps. Like last few years, he's always asking questions and wanting to know more about it, and that's, you know, great for us to see the other players and especially like a leader of our footy club wanting to learn our culture and know a bit more. So it's great.
Wayne, do you think as a whole the industry is sort of moving forward in that sort of education space and wanting to learn and embrace the culture a little bit more?
Yeah, certainly moving forward. You know, there's obviously still ways to go, but definitely a massive improvement, and it's been good.
You, Wayne, how's the body holding up? Are you certainty to play this week, or how's it all looking?
No one's ever a certainty, but yeah, I'm feeling good. I'll train Thursday. Got a bit of a test, but it's feeling good, and then I'll just have to wait to see what selection panel goes like.
Are you confident? How confident are you in?
Yeah, I'm confident in my body and how it's all going, but obviously just see how we go.
But potentially going straight back into the AFL side, how does that sit with you? We spoke to Ben Hart yesterday. He said that it would come down to a few factors, including how you feel about the situation. How would that feel you going straight back in?
Yeah, I'm confident going back straight back in. I've done the work to plan as if I'll go back straight back in, but yeah, just which way they want to go, and it'll come down to them factors that they've spoke about in selection.
What sort of stuff have you been doing to test it out at training?
Like obviously I've get my match fitness back there. You can test it out, give it a whack now. He's on the right side. So, but yeah, just like tackling today, and then I'll do just some more not control stuff. So on Thursday, just out in the open and just test it out. Yeah. Might get Pikey to run through it or something like that.
Are there any moments in the last couple of weeks where you've thought that is coming along, a big tackle, or you've been pumped at training? Yeah,
he lined up Tex in the gym the other week and flattened him, so that sort of sorted it out, didn't it?
Yeah, that was exactly what happened. So long.
Okay. Rory. This is good here, buddy.
You roll with that.
Rory, one for you. Based on the last couple of weeks, Pardon me, sorry.
That's all right, we'll take a moment.
Seriously though, is the midfield being accountable enough, do you think, at the moment?
I think so. We're certainly accountable for our performances on the weekend, and last couple of weeks we've, I think, been beaten around the ball, and we'll certainly own that as a midfield group. And we've had some really solid games this year as well, but we certainly want to get back to being proactive around stoppages and certainly setting the scene for the rest of the group.
Do you look at the group and think we need to employ or perhaps start developing someone to go into a tagging role at all?
Well, it's funny you mention. Like times on the weekend, we certainly wanted to put some work into Neil, and we didn't do a good enough job of that, clearly. So we certainly have had those roles throughout the weeks, and especially on the weekend, we didn't quite perform that the way we should have.
Why is it that you think the midfield group's been beaten in recent weeks? Because you've got some absolute stars in there. Why do you think it hasn't gone your way?
Well, it hasn't been too bad. I mean, we still nearly broke even with Brisbane on the weekend. But look, as I said, we want to get back to being proactive around there, and might sound cliche, but when you're a bit reactive and you stand off a bit, that's sort of when you're susceptible to getting beaten. So we want to certainly ask questions of other midfield groups and make sure we're asking the question first and attacking them. So that's something I think we just stepped away from the last couple of weeks.
Is there something to be said even in the modern game where it's, you stand here and watch this person and there's so much analytics and that goes into a game? There's something to be said for just going hunt and win the footy, which you guys have a lot of players who are really good at doing that. You have to get back to that basic every now and then. Yeah, you do need that, but you need certainly guys to do it with a bit of balance. You can't have everyone cracking in, and that's what we've got. We've got a lot of bulls who are really quite contested animals, so that's definitely one of our strengths, and as long as we're bringing that and getting some run from, you're seeing guys like Chase, hopefully Junior's back in this weekend, and guys like Seeds as well, we can get a bit of outside run too.
Who can be a tagger for you guys, do you think? Who's the best candidate perhaps to take on that role?
A few of us have done it in the past. Curly's done a bit of it. I've certainly done a bit of it in the past too, which I quite enjoy. Is going on putting yourself up against the best midfielder, and might be something to put my hand up for in the coming weeks.
So you'd be able to tag?
As I said, I've done it in the past and I enjoy it.
Do you see, if you were to...
It's not quite tagging, I suppose. It's sort of like set yourself against the best midfielder and go at him one-on-one.
I guess that probably says a lot about how you see the depth at the club with guys like the Crouch brothers and other guys, if you were to put your hand into a role like that.
Well, as I said, it's not quite your probably traditional tagging role, but when you go up against the best one-on-one, you can certainly test yourself out.
What happens if you are assigned a tagging role, say against West Coast, and then Hutchins goes to you?
It becomes a bit of a train then, doesn't it?
You haven't had too many hard tags this year, but that's something that's been a problem in the past. Hutchins has been very good this year. How are you preparing for that likely matchup? Yeah, well, it's just like any other game, really. Ask questions first, and as I said before, get on the front foot and test them out that way. And there's other things I'll do I won't mention here, so I'll be fine.
Is that the best way to nullify a tag? Sort of take your game and just play really defensive on one of their better midfielders?
Could be, yep. There's definitely that. There's other ways to go about it as well. So, first of all, it's got to happen first, doesn't it? So we'll wait to see what happens Saturday.
Is it frustrating for you when, if a game comes around and I'll sometimes deploy a really hard tagger and you just see straight away he's going to come straight to you, and you have to sort of change your own game plan in your mind right then and there?
No, as I said before, there's certain things you can do and more strategic stuff that I actually enjoy doing where you can bring others into the game. So there's ways around everything.
Or have you looked at the next 6 weeks of the draw? The opponents that you've got all around the finals, mark in Melbourne at the minute, but
it probably is irrelevant who we've got the next 6 weeks, really. And again, it might sound cliche, but you look at the whole comp this year and you look at how many teams are sitting on. We're one game loss off sitting off about 14th in the comp, so it doesn't matter who you play, really. It could be the next 8 weeks, it could be the next 10 weeks you look at it. It's all going to be tough games. And we've got the reigning premiers at home this week. I think there's no better challenge.
Do you know where you sit in the competition yet? Or?
Yeah, we sit 7th.
Have you got a general feel about how...
I reckon it's going to be a year. It comes down to the wire, and as I said, you look at the 2 teams that are probably standing out, Collingwood and Geelong at the moment. They just keep winning every week, and in this industry, that's what you got to do.
JJ walking around with a puffed out chest this week?
he had a good game. It was nice to, for the Sanford boys to get a good win, actually, especially with another bye coming up. So, yep, it's a great response from JJ, and certainly puts his hand up for selection.
Good thing to have, isn't it? You've got a little bit of pressure from underneath. Blokes playing well on the Sanford.
Yeah, definitely. We've had it all year. So, Miles Paholke, Paddy Wilson have been performing all year in the Sanford, and we've seen Miles get rewarded for it. And certainly all our young guys too. I mean, Ned McHenry's played some outstanding footy. Jordan Butts, Chase Jones, you've seen get some games as well, but that's through good form. So we've certainly got a lot of guys coming up.
What was the main thing to come out of the Brisbane game when you reviewed it, as in where you need to sharpen up for next week?
Yeah, well, it's a good game, really. I mean, both teams I thought played pretty decent footy. I thought the biggest difference was their pressure was better than ours, I reckon. That was probably the thing that stood out the most was, just their pressure on us.
How are you finding the captaincy this year? Just kind of, I think, around 10 now. How have you found the first kind of 10 weeks?
Yeah, pretty similar to sort of last year, really. Not too much has changed, which was what I sort of went into the role with. I just wanted to help Tex out and take a bit of heat off him at times, because certainly when you're one out as a captain, there's certainly a bit of heat that gets put on you, unwarranted at times as well, I'd reckon. So, as I said to him early in the year, if I could help out just with that and take a bit of heat off, then I'm doing my job. So I'll certainly keep the rest of it pretty similar.
Do you feel like it's been a good call for the club? Because obviously, Port have done a similar thing with co-captaincy and a few other different codes as well. Do you feel like it's been successful?
Look, as long as it's helped Tex out and helped our team out, I think you probably have to ask him and a few other people, but as long as it's helped the team out and helped him out, then I think it's been the right move.
Do you think co-captains has worked, Wayne?
There you go.
Yeah, I think it has. It's been good. If you don't see you changing, Sloane is always around the club, leading, setting by example. But I think just like you said, he's taking a bit of a load off Tex and just helps him out.
Who gives a better pre-match rev up?
You've missed a few now, haven't you?
Missed a few now, so I don't know. I'll tell you in a couple of weeks when I get back in.
Well, there's been a bit of talk about the Adam Goods doco. Did you see that earlier in the year, or have you seen the documentary on that?
Yeah, we seen it at the Indigenous camp. It's a good documentary. And you get a bit of an insight of what actually happened and all the stuff that he actually went through. It's pretty sad to see. It's not a good look on the society and that.
So that was your main takeout, that things have to change?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, certainly from seeing that and just like the AFL support as well. Like we spoke about how we could have, as the Indigenous group, done better to support Goodsy. But yeah, that's one thing. If it does happen again, the whole support of the AFL could be a lot better.